All right, so this video we're looking at a single replacement reaction. So I'm going to look at question number 18 right here. This is an example of single replacement. How I could know this is single replacement is whenever I have an element that is all alone right here, right, with a compound over here, that tells me this is probably going to switch places with something else, right? So that is a single replacement reaction. What I need to pay attention to is this single element a metal or a non-metal, right? That's going to tell me what it's going to switch with over here. Metal is usually, not all the time, but usually going to switch with the metal. Non-metals are usually going to switch with the non-metal. So chlorine, right, the element that's all by itself, is a non-metal, which means it's probably going to switch with iodine, which is the other non-metal, right? So for the sake of this, we're going to assume that our products, chlorine and iodine, are just going to switch places, right? So that's all we're doing. If I come over to my whiteboard, here we are. So like I said, I always kind of just start by writing out the symbols. Then we'll go back, we'll look at charge a little bit later. So if we were to write this, if chlorine and iodine switch spots, I would write, okay, NaCl, and I'm left with just I for iodine. So again, these things, iodine, chlorine, have just swapped places. I'm not quite done though. I have to look at charge or if either of these are a diatomic element to know if I have to add any subscripts, right? The smaller numbers. So if we were to take a look at, see if I can grab a marker, there we go, at these elements in the periodic table, I would see that sodium is +1 and chlorine is -1. So for over here, if it's +1 and -1, I don't have to add anything else, right? They're the same number. My job is already done. However, if I, see if I can scroll up over here, there we go. If I look at iodine, right, which is all by itself, on the back of your periodic table, not something you have to have memorized, but if I looked at the back of my periodic table, I would see that iodine is what we call a diatomic element. That means when it's all by itself right here, I write it as I2. So just like how over here I wrote chlorine as Cl2, I'm going to write iodine as I2. And those would be my products of this single replacement reaction, which again is a single replacement reaction because I have a single element replacing another one that's in a compound. So hopefully this helped for single replacement.